of his son, you know, with Margot pregnant, holidays coming up, you know, it should be a happy time for them.
This isn't going to be an easy holiday season for you, is it?
Well, I gotta make the best of it for Kate's sake.
Yeah, there seem to be an awful lot of us that are having some kind of testing this year. Well, maybe in 1991, there'll be light at the end of the tunnel.
Wouldn't that be nice, huh? I'll see you later, okay? Hi. Hi, Susan.
Heard anything from John?
Not a word.
I wonder if, Lucinda thinks he's still holed up at my apartment. She better not come and check. If she does, I might be the one who gives her a shove this time.
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Hi, Bob. Susan?
Hi.
Didn't want to continue this conversation with Mrs. Myers in the kitchen, but I want to know why you are here.
I felt I owed you a visit.
Why?
Well, you got so tense last night when Margot and I stopped by. You know, for your information, I did my best to discourage her from coming, but I didn't want to raise suspicion.
You could have called to tell me that.
She gets prettier every day.
Look, Daryl, I really don't want to be rude, but I'm expecting a visitor, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
There you go, getting tense again.
Do you really blame me?
You know, if you're referring to that night we spent together in Rome, which was 9 months ago, you have nothing to worry about. You have Hal, I have Carolyn. I wouldn't do anything to hurt either one of them.
And why did you just forget that night? Why do you keep calling me when I've asked you not to? Why did you come to New York when I had my show there and then follow me to Oakdale?
I told you coming to Oakdale had nothing to do with you. Dr. Kozak was Carolyn's last chance for reversing the paralysis.
And I heard there's no chance of that. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Then I guess you also know that we're going to be here for a few months. And with mutual friends like Margot and Tom and Lila, we're bound to cross paths again. And if you fall apart every time we're in the same room together, well, people are going to get suspicious. I mean, your husband and Margot, they're both detectives. They'll start piecing it together. They'll start wondering the same things I'm wondering about that beautiful little girl.
Tonight? Lily, come on, you can't be serious.
I'm sorry to spring this on you at the last minute, but Gavin's already made plans.
I don't know if I can be packed and ready to go by tonight.
I know, but Gavin promised to send the jet, and it doesn't matter when you leave as long as you are in L.A. tonight, because...
Wait a minute here. How long are we going to let this guy give us orders and expect everyone to jump? I mean, this guy already thinks he owns the world. The more we let him shove us around, the more he's going to think he can get away with it.
Paul, calm down.
No, I'm serious, Emily. What he's doing to you is not fair. And Lily, you and Sean should say something to him.
Look, Paul, I know that you're pretty new in the world of business, but when you have a client the size of Gavin Kruger, he not only expects service, he demands it. And if you're not going to give it to him, he's going to find it somewhere else.
Holden is right. Now, if we turn Gavin down on something so important to him, Lucinda's going to snap him up like that. Emily, why don't you take the rest of the day off so you can pack? And Holden and I are going to go to lunch right now, but we'll talk later, okay?
Come on, honey, look at the bright side. The sooner I go, the sooner I'll be back.
I just can't believe I'm going to be losing you tonight.
Oh, I miss you already, too.
Emily, I wasn't going to say anything to you about this until the trial was all over. And I really wanted more of a romantic setting, more of a build-up. Emily, I love you with all my heart. Will you marry me?
Better, thank you. Good, I'm glad to hear it. I was concerned about Emily when I heard about Philip Lombard's murder. She's up there testifying about him, isn't she? I haven't heard from her, but I think she's on her way back. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm going to try to call her.
Thank you.
What for?
Well, coming in here, seeing me with Susan, talking. The way you handled it.
Well, I have to admit my first impulse was to turn around and walk out, but I'm trying to remember that the two of you do work here together, and I'm trying. It's just not easy.
I know. Maybe it'll get easier with a little more effort from all of us.
I stopped by to pick up a prescription for Christopher. I was going to get it from Larry.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, no, it's just he's got this runny nose and sniffles again. Larry thought we should have him tested for,
Allergies?
yeah, allergies.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi
hi. Hi.
I suppose you both heard about Philip Lombard, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
How you doing?
Okay, actually I'm spending too much time in this whole Pop and Lucy mess. Actually, I went by to see her, about getting Matthew to pack my Pop's stuff up. And she said if Pop wanted her stuff, he'd have to come get it himself.
You know, Duke, it might be that you should just kind of stay out of it.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Yeah, I agree. Let them work out whatever there is left to work out.
Probably nothing. Though Lucy's taking it pretty hard.
Damn. Harry told me that you were here. Do you have time for a cup of coffee, a little chat?
Indeed, I do. I just was going to pick some medicine up for Christopher.
Emily wanted me to tell all of you that she might not get a chance to say goodbye.
Where's she going?
L.A. She's going to be working for Kruger Industries for a few months. She's leaving tonight.
You're kidding. I saw her at the Capitol yesterday. She didn't say anything.
It just happened a few minutes ago. It's so funny. I thought I'd be out there by now, and instead Emily is going.
Well, look, as acting chief of staff, why don't you check out of here now and then spend some time with Emily before she leaves?
Oh, thank you. That's really very kind of you.
I really don't see how my asking you to marry me could be a shock to you. You know how much I love you. Emily, I won't be happy till I know we can spend the rest of our lives together.
Paul, I know that. And I've never felt this way about anyone in my whole life.
I'm not looking for comparisons. I know how you felt about Brock.
Listen to me. No matter how much Brock and I loved each other, we still had secrets between us. You and I have a totally honest relationship, and I think that's beautiful. Marriage is a big step. Now, I made a big mistake getting married to Holden. If I ever get married again, I want it to be for the rest of my life.
Well, that's exactly what I had in mind when I asked you.
Honey, can we talk about this later when we go to the carriage house and you help me pack?
As long as you're not saying no right now.
I'm not saying no. You might even be surprised with a great big yes.
Great. Well, I better go earn my salary, and if I don't see you before you leave, I'll see you back at the carriage house.
Okay.
Frankly, I don't think you're up to the responsibility of Paul's love. And you're going to end up hurting him in a way he's never been hurt before.
Hey.
Jennifer's down for her nap.
You know, I have to go to look at the house that Carolyn and I are going to be renting while she's under Dr. Kozak's supervision. But before I go, I want to make sure you understand what I was trying to tell you in the hospital. If Jennifer is my daughter, I would never tell Hal the truth. You know, I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize your marriage or to hurt Jennifer's chances for happiness.
Then why do you keep asking me such a ridiculous question when I've already told you the truth?
Maybe because I'm a man who may never have a child of his own.
Some kind of a strategy. I even had a dream the foreman announced a guilty verdict and then Kingpin's taken out like that. And it's not the glory. It's not just the glory. It's the joy of seeing the system really work. And knowing this guy's reign of terror is over once and for all.
No, you're going to get some of those feelings when they find his underlings guilty.
Oh, honey, naturally. You know I want that to happen, too. But I wanted to prosecute him here for Brock's murder. Now they've taken that away, too.
You know, my darling, one of the things I love most about you is your deep sense of justice. Even though your belief system is black and white.
Yeah, I remember not long ago. We were both in a bit of trouble because of that belief system, honey.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago. And even though it was very difficult, you never wavered. You never lied to me because it was what I wanted to hear. And I know it's not easy, but I know when you tell me something, it's the truth. And I love and respect you for that.
How did I get so lucky?
don't know. I ask myself that 52 times a day. How you got so
Ask
much?
yourself how you got so much.
Oh, you asked me. Hold on. Detective Hughes.
Hello, Margot. It's Tonio Reyes.
Tonio. What do you want?
Well, I'm trying to get a hold of Tom. His secretary thought he might be with you.
He is. It's for you.
Tonio, what's up?
Well, Tom, there's something I really need to speak with you about.
Go ahead.
Well, I hope I'm not out of line on this. I'm only bringing this up out of concern for Sabrina.
Tonio, exactly where is this heading?
Well, I just wonder if you could take some time and sit down with Sabrina and try to help her understand the situation between Kim and your father.
That is a very personal family matter.
Well, yes, I understand that, but you see, I was with Sabrina last night, and we went into a restaurant and ran into your father and Susan Stewart. Now, I tried my best to help, but I really think you're in a better position to sit down and talk with her about this.
I think you should follow through on your client's wishes, Lucinda.
I don't like it. I'm disinclined to throw lots and lots of money in any venture of Tonio Reyes's.
Well, like it or not, a lot of your clients are going to want in on this because it's the hottest, newest real estate...
All right, I'm going to do it, okay? Jane, has Holden come in yet? All right, well, tell him to come. I want to see him. Come to my office. Yeah, thank you.
How's Holden doing?
Oh, he's doing fine. Business. The Duke told me. Something very disturbing. It wasn't enough that he's rubbing my nose in the Lombard business. And John, guess who he saw at Lily's apartment this morning?
Linked?
Holden. Which means that she's just been pretending all this time that it was all over between them.
Well, perhaps it is. Lucinda, you're worrying too much about Holden and not about John.
John? Oh, what can I do about John, darling? I'm helpless. There's nothing I can do. He's in hiding. He's a coward. But I can do something about Lily and Holden. I can do that.
Now, where are you going?
I am going to fight. You say I'm a fighter? With whatever weapons come to hand.
Not a word. I'm getting more and more worried about her.
Yeah, me too. I don't mean to be rude, but I have to get packed and ready, you know, because I'm going away.
I may be leaving Oakdale myself tonight. Emily, I just wish that I'd gotten to know you a little better.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I, thought I could help you with the packing.
I gotta be taking off. Dr. Stewart, it's always a pleasure to see you. Well, good luck in California. I might see you out there.
Well, I can see why Paul is jealous of him. When he looks at you, you feel like you don't have any clothes on.
He's harmless. Now, tell me, what are you on your lunch hour or something?
No, Bob gave me the rest of the day off so I could spend some time with you.
Well, that was really nice of him. I guess you're going to be getting special privileges since...
You'll never guess what happened. I was in the solarium today, and Kim walked in while Bob and I were talking.
Again?
Yeah, but she was very sweet. She was just as sweet as pie. She asked me how my back was. She wished you a safe trip.
Well, maybe things are getting better on that front.
I don't know about that, but it's certainly better than her staring daggers at me all the time.
I have a little surprise for you.
You do? Am I gonna like it?
I hope so. Paul asked me to marry him.
He did what?
Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt a mother and daughter chat. I'm just looking for my daughter.
She's out to lunch, Lucinda.
Oh, do you know where?
No, I don't.
Do you know who she's with?
If I did, I wouldn't tell the competition.
I'm not here on a business mission. I just would like to see Lily.
Look, I gotta go home and get packed if I'm gonna be on time for Gavin's jet.
Emily, why don't you wait for me in the reception area? I'm gonna have a little talk with Lucinda. I'll be okay. I would like an apology for that phone call last night.
Oh, well, you're not going to get one.
I'm not finished.
Susan, you're going to strike me with your cane?
Oh, well, I'd like to. But I never hit people when they're down.
I don't need your sympathy.
Don't worry about it. When I heard about Duke's adoption, I knew it was some kind of phony scheme. And I was right. But I never thought that you would sink low enough consorting with Philip Lombard behind your husband's back. That's low even for you.
Consorting? Wow. At least I'm not in the business of stealing husbands.
No, you're in the business of losing them. And it's too bad, you know, because John really loved you. In spite of all your craziness. He really hung in there. I don't think there's another John out there. So it looks like, in spite of all your millions, you're going to end up alone.
I don't see a long line of bachelors lining up outside your door.
That's true, but who knows when John is back and divorced. I think it's going to be a very long, hard winter for you, Lucinda. But, you know, if you get too cold, you could always burn some of your money.
What? A very important part of your life.
I don't think I will ever feel the same way about her again. Plus the fact that we have to treat her like an enemy to protect ourselves, that proves that something's really wrong with her.
I know that, but you can't just write people out of your life, especially people who...
Holden, I love you for caring. And I love you even more for pleading her case when there's absolutely no defense for what she did. But I only want people around me now that I can trust. People that are going to be happy for us when you and I are married.
Say that again.
When you and I are married.
I really believe it when you say that.
You better believe it, Buster. Because I believe it with all my heart.
Maybe we should go someplace a little more private, you know, so we can talk.
Sure. Well, since Bob gave Susan the rest of the day off, I can't work with her anymore, so I'm free.
How about your place?
Sure, perfect.
Still here, huh?
Oh, yeah, hi. I just want to say again, Grandfather, how happy I am that you and Kim are together. You know, last night at the party and today here.
Well, I hope we'll be together a lot during the holidays. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, so am I.
You haven't heard from my pop, huh?
No, I haven't, but if I do, I'll tell him to get in touch with you, Duke.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Yes, man, I guess it's possible I told Bob I loved him that night because I didn't want him to leave. But I can honestly say I never wanted to mess up his life the way I have.
Bob?
Hi.
Hi. I thought I'd find you knee-deep in John's paperwork by now.
Well, I am, but I just finished rounds and I needed a break.
I just had a nice chat with Lila.
You know, this is her first holiday season without Casey. Maybe you could include her at some of the things over at the house.
I've already asked her to bring Kate and join us for Thanksgiving.
Oh, good. I mean, we sure have our problems, but they're not over. And they are for Lila.
I thought the same thing myself when I was talking to her. You know, I guess you and I have just taken so many things for granted. Oh, it's Tony.
Hi.
Oh, hi, darling.
Well, what a bizarre ending to the Lombard case. What's shocking?
Yeah, I was standing right there in the corridor when he was killed. Still hardly believe it. I'm kind of walking around in a fog.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm so glad you're safe. I have to run because I've got an appointment with Tonio.
Oh, listen, I like to stop by and see Christopher. Not that I doubt Larry's judgment, but I think a second opinion on the sniffles is always valid.
Okay. As soon as I finish with my appointment, I'll be home, so anytime's fine.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, What are you doing tonight with Margot? I'm going to be at the Mona Lisa. Why don't you stop by?
I don't think we have any plans. Margot might enjoy not having to cook this evening.
Good. Well, I hope you can make it. And you too, Bob.
You know, I might just do that. Like Margot, the thought of cooking my own dinner does not thrill me.
See you later.
Okay.
So I was kind of surprised to hear at Graham and Mac's party that Sabrina is painting Tonio's portrait.
Well, both Kim and I talked to her. She's an adult. We can't tell her who to see and who not to see.
You know, I got a very weird phone call from Tonio. Of course, I don't know when he's being honest. He's very hard to trust. He said something to the effect that Sabrina was upset because she had seen you and Susan at a restaurant last night.
I met Susan there to explain the John and Lucinda situation to her, and then walked Tonio and Sabrina. I hope he doesn't say anything to Kim about this. Sabrina told me that she didn't intend to.
Now, I think it's a good thing that John took time off to think about this. I think when he comes back, he'll be simmered down.
I don't like leaving things to chance.
Well, maybe this time you'll just have to.
Jane said you wanted to see me?
Yes. Where have you been?
I'll be in the conference room.
How's the lunch?
Look, darling, it's about Connor. Until she gets acclimated, I really would appreciate if you'd spend more of your lunch hours with her.
Connor had lunch with Kirk today.
She did? Well, anyway, please try to spend as much time as you possibly can.
Fine. Anything else before I get back to my office?
One small thing. Duke told me that you were at Lily's condo this morning.
That's right.
What were you doing there?
I'm staying at Cal's, and he needed me to drop off a few papers for her.
You couldn't drop the papers off at the office?
I could have, but then I would have been late for my meeting with Connor. Anything else?
Yeah? You talked to Angel lately?
I haven't talked to her in a few days, but I intend to, so...
When is she coming back?
Well, that's what I have to find out. Anything else?
No. When there is, I'll let you know. Jane, did you get through to Lily's line? Oh, God. She won't speak to me at all?
You know, I still can't get over Darrell Crawford bringing this by. So thoughtful of him and Carolyn with everything they're going through. It's really nice.
Yes, it is. Sabrina, would you care for some tea or perhaps some dessert?
I'm fine, really. I never expected to be invited for lunch when I stopped by.
Well, it's very nice to see a little bit more of you this trip.
Well, I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Oh, honey, Mrs. Myers can do that.
You know, Mrs. Myers works too hard, and anyway, I want to check in with the station. Keep an eye on her, Sabrina.
I've never seen a happier or more devoted husband. You're so lucky.
Yes, I am. I'm sure that someday you and Franny will find a man just like that.
I hope that I'll be able to trust a man again after Colin.
Oh, you will, Sabrina. That will come with time. I have to admit, though, that I was a bit surprised to hear that you are painting Tonio Reyes' portrait.
Why? I paint for a living just as you design clothing.
Well, that's true. But you can choose who you work with. I think Tonio is a poor choice.
He's been very polite to me, and he's easy to work with.
Oh, I'm sure. Watch your step.
I intend to. I'm only painting a portrait. I've so enjoyed our visit. I hope that I can do it again sometime.
Oh, I'd like that very much. And I hope you're not offended about what I said about Tonio.
No, not at all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Goodbye, Hal.
Bye, Sabrina.
Gavin. I'm fine, and the baby's fine, too, yes. What is the status of the Emily Stewart situation? Really? Well, I didn't realize you were going to take care of it so quickly. Thank you. I'll always be grateful to you.
I just hope you don't rush into anything. Living together is one thing, but marriage is something else.
I know. It just felt wonderful to have Paul ask me to marry him, you know. First I was really surprised, and then he's got weak. He loves me so much. No one has ever been this good to me.
I know, honey, but I hope that you use the time away to really think things through.
Hello.
Now, how did you get out of the office so early?
Well, Lily and Ellie are busy working with Link on the Strico account. And I checked with Dick Wolf, and everything's running smoothly at the factory, so I took the time off to be with you. Hi, Susan. I'm sure that Emily told you about my proposal?
Oh, yes, she did.
Well, I'd like to apologize for not doing it the proper way and asking your permission first.
Oh, well, it's really between you and Emily.
Well, I'd just like you to know that I truly do love her and respect her, and will do everything I can to make her happy.
I believe that. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. You two probably have a lot to talk about. I'll call you as soon as I get to L.A.
All right, honey. Good luck.
Good luck. I hope you can find me a job out there.
Never know. Love you, Mom.
Bye, Susan.
Oh, I don't believe I'm really leaving tonight.
Me neither. Come here. Come on, let's talk for a minute. Everything happened so fast today that, well, I wasn't really prepared.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Emily, I'd like you to wear this when you get on that plane tonight. I hope it fits. I had to guess at your ring size.
Oh, Paul. This is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen.
Into this building once it's completed. You'll have a much larger production office and an adjoining office for Sally Horton.
Oh, terrific. That's wonderful. How soon do you think it's going to be ready?
Well, perhaps by the end of next year or early 1992. Of course, other parts of the facility will be completed before then. Do you know a realtor named Ralph Mitchell?
I certainly do. He's an old friend.
Ah, good. Well, I'm bringing him in for a meeting, and if everything works out, I'm going to have him take over the entire development project.
Oh, that's terrific. He's very talented. Be sure and have him call me when he comes into town, okay?
Oh, I certainly will. You know, Kim, I'm very impressed with your proposals for patterns. I think the episode on Philip Lombard will be very timely, and if you'd like, I would be delighted to appear in it.
I'll let you know when Sally and I get a little further along. Listen, if you don't mind, I better run.
All right. Now, listen, I want to tell you, I'm very impressed with Sabrina's artistic abilities.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing the portrait when it's finished.
Well, you know, maybe I should have an unveiling party. I'd like all of her family to be there.
Fine. Bye-bye.
Richard, I'm glad you're there. Fred Greer informs me we're having a cash flow problem on the riverfront development. Yes, look. I want you to move on getting more of Stembeck's money out of those Swiss accounts, all right? Good. Keep me posted. Come in. Ah, Sabrina, how did you know that I was just sitting here wishing that you would come by and visit me?
Really? You were. I just came by to go over the schedule for the portrait sittings.
You must have ESP. I was just talking with your mother about having an unveiling party once the portrait is done.
What did she say?
Well, she thought it was a wonderful idea.
But, Mama, I would think you, of all people, would be very good for you to be around Carolyn and Daryl during this adjustment period, right?
Hey.
Hey, Daryl, did you see the house?
Not only did I see it, I told Helen I was going to take it, pending Carolyn's approval.
Good.
I'm hoping Dr. Kozak will let me take her out there to see it.
Oh, I think that would be the up she really needs right now.
Well, I want her to feel that we can still lead a normal life, or as normal as possible. I'm even going to ask her to go to dinner with me.
That's a real good idea, and you'll bring her to the Mona Lisa tonight because Mama is singing, and Tom and I will be there.
Well, it's hard to believe that the woman that used to chase me off that porch back in Iowa is now a chanteuse.
Oh, the chanteuse de Oakdale! You know, I wanted to tell you, Hal called the station earlier. He was really knocked out that you brought a present by for the baby.
Well, it was Carolyn's idea. You know, we were so happy to see Hal and Barbara so excited about their new edition. I hope we're going to be around when you and Tom have the big event.
Man, I hope so, too. I can't think of a better person to have around than the man who owns the biggest cereal company in the world.
I promise a lifetime supply.
Hey, if you got a minute, stop by Carolyn's room with me. Maybe you can help me persuade her into going out.
Sure, I'll try, but, you know, I stopped by before. She wasn't there.
Well, why don't I walk you both by Dr. Kozak's office? She's probably there.
All right.
Susan,
Hi.
I thought Bob gave you the rest of the day off.
Oh, he did, but Emily had so much to do, I came back.
Oh, good. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
What's this room? I didn't know.
Look, Matt, I can't deny I was attracted to Susan before that night. But why wouldn't I be? She's a very attractive woman. Hey, what are you doing back here?
Emily had packing to do, so I came back. Thanks for giving me the time off. I just think maybe you shouldn't have done it in front of Kim.
No, I disagree. I mean, the way she handled the situation today. I think it's a good sign.
Tommy, I'm so glad you stopped by.
I know Margot came over to talk, and I didn't want you to think I'm choosing sides, because I'm not.
Never entered my mind.
Okay.
I realize this is as awkward for the rest of the family as it is for Bob and me. You know, honey, I never pictured myself in this situation.
I know.
I'm afraid I haven't handled it very well.
Oh, I disagree. I remember myself being in a very similar situation because of Margot and Hal. I also remember it being very painful.
Oh, well, that's for sure.
It could have even been stickier in my case because of Adam, him always being there as a constant reminder of what Margot and Hal shared, but somehow he isn't.
But how do you feel about the fact that Margot and Hal work together every day?
Well, I had to either accept the intimacy they shared or let it drive a wedge between Margot and me that would prevent us from ever having a happy marriage.
Well, it's one thing to say it, but how you really do it, God, I just wrestle with it.
I don't think I ever really tried to put this into words. I think I love Margot so much that I was able to forgive her for what happened with Hal. As much as I wish it hadn't, that relationship will always be there, so I had a choice, and I made it. And I haven't looked back, because once I made that decision, I must tell you honestly, I think my marriage has been even stronger.
Look. A career-in-law is what you want. How could I not go along with it? I hate the idea of you going east come January, but I love you too much to ever stand in your way.
Oh, you know, I was really, really dreading this conversation. But now that I see how you're reacting, it just makes me love you more.
I didn't do anything so special.
You know, it's you not knowing that you did something special that makes it so special.
And I love you so much. I've always wanted to show you in a way I've never been able to before.
Oh, I want that too. You know, if there was ever a more perfect time for us, this is it.
So listen, I talked to Cal. He's going out tonight. What do you say we fix dinner at his place?
Well, I'd love it if you fixed me dinner tonight. But also know that Ellie offered the private dining room over at Ellie's if you want to go out discreetly.
I'll let you decide. I gotta go.
I love you.
I love you too. Bye-bye. Hey, Ambrose.
Holden, I just want to leave these papers for Lucinda.
I better get back to my meeting with Connor.
What is it, Janie, my love? Oh, Holden! Holden.
Yeah?
It's your wife calling from London.
Well, I'm sorry. Daryl took his wife for a drive.
Poor, pretty woman. It's so sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Excuse me.
No, I'm...
Bob?
Yeah?
By any chance, has John checked in with you here at the hospital?
No, not since the last time he asked me that.
Suzanne? You have a phone call.
Would you like a little more?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I think it's improving.
Really?
Oh.
I only said that to get you away from Lucinda. I owe you one.
Bet.
Maybe. I've got to get back to the
All
office.
right. If he does check in with the hospital here, would you tell him to check in at home as well?
Of course.
John! Oh, I'm so glad you called. I was so worried about you.
You think life could be any more perfect than this?
I don't. Sure is nice having you around the house.
It's nice to be here. You know what else is nice? Seeing you on the phone just once or the factory all day. That was nice.
Well, my son seems to be handling things pretty smoothly over there.
That's our corporate man.
Think we can invite him to dinner?
Well, it's fine with me, but you might want to run that by him, you know. I mean, he's probably got plans with Emily.
I heard that Emily is flying to California to work with Gavin Kruger.
Where'd you hear that?
Oh, I called MMA and Ellie told me.
Right back. Oh, hi, guys. Listen, we were just talking about you. Yeah, so how you been? Come on in.
How you doing, Al?
Good.
Well, nice to see you both.
Yeah, your mother was just telling me about Emily's trip.
That's right. I just heard that, you're going to California. Kind of sudden, isn't it, Emily?
Very. Well, we've got some news for you guys that's kind of sudden also. And I'd like the two of you to be as happy as I am. I asked Emily to marry me, and she said yes.